What's up, everyone? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this morning edition. Always on this pleasant Sunday morning, I'm joined by my boy Dave Robin. What's up, my boy?
Hey, what's going on, man? Let's
You
try to get to
you
3 and 0
you
today,
you
right?
you recovered from the wedding last night?
Yes, yes, yes. Everything's good, man. We were ready to roll this morning, man. Cup of coffee, got some water. No cucumber water this time, but hey, you
That's
know.
right. Well, look. Let's dive into it, man. Let's dive into this Saints game. What you think? I mean, I know we got a few players inactive on both sides, but both teams. So let's talk about it. The one that disappoints me is Paulson Adebo, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. He's. I mean, I like Paulson Adebo, man. I think he's. What is his third year now? I mean, this guy's.
Yeah.
Played pretty solid corner. I mean, the good thing about us is, man, I think we got the depth to kind of cover it.
Yeah, but it seemed he got nicked up last year in the beginning of the year,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it really gave Alontae Taylor a chance to shine.
and that's when we seen Alontae Taylor.
Yeah.
As far as running backs, I think I can't wait to get Kamara back next week, man.
Yeah, and I mean, what's the story on Kendre Miller, man? Looks like he's supposed to be getting his shot today, from what I'm hearing.
He's supposed to get the start. So we'll see. They put Williams on IR with that hamstring injury. They placed him on IR yesterday, so he's out at least 4 weeks.
Okay,
So
okay,
we gotta
yeah,
so we gotta wait on that. So it's just look, we're getting into rare form now. It's like we're
yeah,
ready to go. Week three.
yeah,
Week three is a big one.
yeah. It's a hard place to play too, man. I mean, the good thing is we're getting these guys in September. I mean, look, I'm a big Cubs fan, so I'm obviously watching probably more baseball yesterday than most people, man. But I'm watching the Cubs game at Wrigley Field, and I mean, dude, the temperature's beautiful. They're saying like mid 70s. So I mean, and Lambeau's not much, farther away from Wrigley. I mean, it's about an hour and a half north of Chicago, roughly, with Green Bay.
Yeah.
So I mean, the conditions should be very favorable, man. It should be really good football conditions.
Yeah, man. This is really good football weather right now. So
Oh yeah.
at least I don't know I didn't check the temperature this morning in Green Bay, but I'm sure it's pretty this time of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, at the game yesterday, they talking about it. They said it felt like Southern California and Chicago, So I mean,
What's up,
because
Ronald Morning?
yeah, I mean, it's good. Look, right now you could be playing one of these games in the South, man, outdoors in 90-degree heat still, or you could be, playing this game in Green Bay later on in the season where it's a frozen tundra, man. So I
I
mean,
tell you
yeah,
what,
it's
some sometimes I wish we had an outdoor stadium because the heat would be in our favor. We used to it, and the guys
there
coming
you
through.
go.
But
Hey, look, retractable roof stadium, man. I always kind of hoped for it, but I don't know if it'll ever happen down here,
67.
man.
Look,
So we're just gonna keep,
Fatty. Look,
making
Fatty's on top
upgrades.
of it. Fatty's on top of it. 67 degrees in Green Bay right now.
There you go. Beautiful, man. Can't
And I
ask for
tell you
anything
what, man,
better than that.
that place is nice, man. I've been there twice. That's a beautiful place. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's one I'd like to go, Richie, man. I got to check that one off the list, man.
It's
I'd really
crazy,
like to
man.
go.
It's kind of like, believe it or not, it's kind of like East Jefferson Stadium. It's kind of
Right.
like that, where there's
Like a very
this
old style setup. Yeah.
very
Yeah.
old style with neighbor. They got the driveways right across. People actually tailgate across the street in their
That's wild.
driveway.
That is wild, dude.
Go Warriors.
They,
He said, "Go Warriors."
That's the team I played for. I played in that stadium, Joe Yenny
there
Stadium.
you go. There you go.
It's
My home
funny,
stadium.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, Fatty, because we played. Shaw played against Bonneville, my school,
Mm,
Wednesday. I mean Friday night. Good Lord, that was embarrassing. Good night.
yeah.
It was like 30. It was like 30 something, nothing at halftime.
So Shaw's back on top, huh? Shaw's like
They
starting
are. They
to.
are. Look, I tell you what. I thought they was this would kind of be a real rebuilding year, but
Mhm.
man, I tell you what, these young kids have stepped up, and they're just man. They
Yeah,
got
I
some.
got to get my high school football game going, man. I got to get back into it, man. I used to love that, man. Back in the day, it's funny you get older and you get away from now. My kids are both in high school,
Yeah.
so it's like I want to start
Yeah,
getting back into it now.
people keep asking about that. I tell you what, our guest that was on here, Darren Burns, he's really good. He keeps up with all of this high school stuff,
Yeah,
man.
I'd love to have a segment, man. Like I said, we could devote something to that. That'd be awesome.
Because you remember, man, it was big back in the day with us in high
Oh, dude,
school.
Look, Tad Gormley Stadium, man. I mean, God, that was like the place to be. Those neighborhoods. I mean, they must the homeowners in that area off of Connect. I mean, was it off of Marconi? They must have been like, damn, man, these teenagers take over the neighborhood because it's like that was like
Yeah,
the spot, man. You go to a
yeah,
Jesuit Brother Martin game, man, and it was like, dude, it was like almost like
yeah,
a college football atmosphere. At
yeah.
time.
Yeah. So Dave, look, let's dive into it real quick. I think the Saints. I think we're gonna have a little trouble along the offensive line today because Green Bay does have a good defensive line, and they can
Yeah,
get it,
that's
and they rush forward and they can get at the quarterback. So they
yeah,
play a
it's
lot
a
of
little.
they play a lot of man.
Yeah, I think Carmichael, man, has to keep those guys off balance. I mean, we talk about the run plays, like, and I don't know, it's, they keep saying, I was reading something a little while earlier about, picking their spots with Taysom. I understand picking their spots, but I think you need to be very aggressive with Taysom early in the game. I think Kendra Miller, Tony Jones, you got to spread it out a little bit, but I'd like to see a lot of short passes and a lot of the running game in
Yeah.
the first quarter and keep those guys honest. I mean, I know, look, Sean Payton with Drew Brees, we'd see them come out and throw like 8 straight passes to start a game. We're like, when the heck are they going to run the ball? I don't think that has to be. Pete Carmichael needs to realize that he ain't Sean Payton when it comes to calling plays. And Derek Carr, give him time to acclimate to the offense still. It's only his 3rd game. So, I mean, I'd love to see the balance, man. Lots of run game, keep those defenders, from just pinning their ears back and coming after Carr.
I think in a game like this, I think we use Taysom a lot more too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of running up the middle, run plays, design
And
runs.
yeah. And remember, this is a team that let him walk originally, so you always got something.
I like when they do the. I do like when they do the read option with Taysom.
I love it, dude.
Where we know we running, but you don't know where he's going.
Exactly. That I like that more than the direct. I mean, I like the straight ahead thing when it's like a short yardage situation. But like you saying, when you got some moving parts with it, and like you said, the defense can't pinpoint where he's going. He's dangerous.
The direct snap, they know who's getting the ball.
Yeah. I tell you, man, when he's on the outside, if he gets the edge like he did a couple times against Carolina, man, I mean, let's be real. That last play of the game, he was gone, dude. I mean, he made the smart decision to slide because that was the end of the game. You didn't want to take any chances. But, if he gets an opportunity like that early in the game, this week, I mean, man, he could break a big run or something like that. I mean, we've seen him do it in the past,
A guy gave me a great analogy of Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill would have been a great rugby player.
Yeah, dude. You remember the rugby play that they even used sometimes when he was starting at quarterback some of those games where they did that push play, that old rugby push, dude. I mean, that dude, look, dude, I'm a Taysom fan, man, but I think he's going to open up things. I mean, I think you can't just come out and just sling it around the field. This is a good, like you said, Jair Alexander in the secondary. What's the other kid? Savage. Yeah. They have some talent back there, man. And like you said, it's gonna be a noisy atmosphere. It's one of the best fan bases in sports.
I'm looking for that matchup with Olave and Alexander, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting, man. I want to see how that goes down. I'm hoping. Look, I mean, I know we talked with Poncho and Darren in that podcast. He kind of fell in love with Michael Thomas, but I'm good with that. But I'm okay with that until everything else opens. I mean, using him as a safety valve is great, but I want to keep using that. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're trying to get Michael Thomas up to game speed. Not that he's not right now, but I think the more reps, the more catches, it gets your body right. It really does. Because you hear NFL player, when they say it, it's like, all right, I get hit a couple of times, and sometimes that's a good thing.
Right. No, and that's a good point too. That's probably a big part of it, man. Just getting him back like that. I mean, and he's so good at coming back to the ball, man. I mean, look, we don't want a bunch of 3 or 4 yard passes, no doubt. But man, if your quarterback's in a bind or something, if nothing else is there, you take those 5 or 6 yard plays.
Well, Dave, we never brought this up, but they kind of using that as a short running game with him with the 3 yard catches and stuff like that.
And see, I like that, man. And I'd like to see that even like, we talked about Taysom. I mean, not to keep going, I know it feels like the Taysom Hill love fest going on, man. But it's like, I mean, why not run like a little tight end screen with Taysom? It looked like they tried to do that last week, that one time when Taysom lined up in the backfield, I believe. But man, you can get Taysom one-on-one against these DBs. I mean, that dude's not easy to bring down. I mean, let's be real.
No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, you get him one-on-one and you might have a touchdown. I mean, it's that simple.
And
Juwan Johnson, too. What about Juwan Johnson, Rich? I mean, even a little short tight end screen to Juwan. I mean, he's not. I mean, that dude's a load.
That's what's got me puzzled, man. Is they haven't used him in the passing game as much this year.
Yeah,
and he's a phenomenal talent. I don't understand it.
Right. I'd love to see him targeted early, man. Because I mean, to me, I feel like Mike is gonna. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Mike is there, that's great. But I mean, Olave's the kind of guy. He's weird, man. He's almost like this. Like man, you go to a doctor's office and they give you some kind of pain medication and it slowly kicks in, man. Like Chris Olave is like the Novocaine, or whatever you want to call it. Like he looks like he's doing nothing for a quarter, and then before you know it, this guy's got 3 or 4 catches for 70 or 80 yards. You know what I mean?
You bring up a great point. It is weird how he just all of a sudden turns it on. But why can't
that second half of that game?
But why can't he do that the whole game?
I think it's almost like, it's funny, Richie. I think if Sean Payton was, I mean, I know I don't want to keep saying this is who we are and this is who we have, but if you had a guy, if Pete Carmichael can just keep improving at what he's doing, man, I think Sean Payton knew when to attack teams and how to attack teams. I think we're still with the new quarterback with Pete. I think it's still coming in, slowly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not coming in real smooth.
People, look, nothing against Pete Carmichael, but you only got a
Right.
handful of great, and when I say not good, I mean great play callers. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
You
No,
got
I
me.
mean,
And I think Sean is it's as much as I appreciate everything Sean did here. I think Sean was a better play caller than he was a head coach.
And sometimes, Richie, that might have been the case, man. I mean, honestly, look, I always say Sean's a good coach, but like you said, his play calling to me is what. There were some decisions sometimes in games that I saw other coaches make better, like Andy Reid or Mike Tomlin or Bill Belichick. So, but play calling alone, like him and Shanahan, to me, are like Kyle Shanahan are in that same boat. Really good head coaches, but they're phenomenal play callers more than anything else,
Yep, and I think that's why he puts. And Sean Payton's always put together a good coaching staff around him, to where I think he can focus more on the play calling and the offense.
Yeah.
He's always had a really good defensive coordinator, and I think that's what I think he benefited from Dennis Allen not having to worry about anything to do with that defense.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. I mean, it worked out. Yeah, with him and Dennis Allen, man. I mean, it was really it clicked, man. It really did. I mean, Dennis was a great defensive coordinator, no doubt, and Sean it let him focus on his end.
Yeah, and it's a lot. So listen, let's dive into a couple other games today, if you don't mind, Dave. We're gonna jump into them quick.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Something y'all didn't kind of.
I'm sorry.
Something y'all didn't kind of cover real quick. What about Carr? I mean, if he has another game like he's had, when do you start questioning him?
Great. It's a great topic. What's up, Lance?
It's a good. I mean, to me, it's one of those things you gotta look. I place, man. Look, it's funny. I don't know. I guess legally we talk about betting that it's legal everywhere. But I mean, I go on Barstool. I go in there this morning. I see there's a bet with Derek Carr. Basically, the odds are stacked almost. It's kind of weird. Two things that I noticed on a betting site I want to bring up real quick. It's almost like they're stocking at they're putting everything against Carr here. His over under for touchdowns is 1.5. Okay. But it's a nice payout. Like the odds are stacked against him, I guess you could say. Like they're expecting him to throw maybe one or less touchdowns in this ball game. So to me, I don't think he can have one of those performances. Even if he's not throwing for a ton of yards, he's got to get the ball in the end zone, man. I got to see a 2 or 3 touchdown performance from Derek Carr.
What is he 1 for 2 for right now?
He's 1
for 2. And look, pretty bad.
Yeah, in fact, this is where Sean Payton would have run the right play in the red zone to get that guy that touchdown to get the confidence up.
When Dave says that about Carr, he's got to start getting it together.
Well, and to me, and look, dude, I mean, we've seen it with other quarterbacks. When guys came in and filled in for Drew didn't need any confidence boost. He knew he was one of the elite quarterbacks for forever, So, but when you had other guys come in, the other guys like Taysom or Teddy Bridgewater or Jameis or Andy Dalton, with not Dalton, with Peyton, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. But Peyton, he was good at getting that guy confidence early in the game. Yeah. And I don't know if Carmichael has that same, bone in his body.
I did a little study on it, Dave, and believe it or not, talking about Carr and everything, they say really week 4 is where everything really should start coming together for you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is a tough. Don't get me wrong. This is a tough setting for him, man. It's a noisy crowd. This is a pretty solid defense, well coached team.
But
and you don't have Kamara back yet.
But I will say this. A phenomenal fan base. Green Bay has some amazing fans.
Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely. And when they've come here, they've always handled themselves really
He was
well.
in the dome last week. So, I mean, what was his excuse? He played
there was
better.
No excuse.
He was playing better the first week than he did when he was at home.
He's saying in the dome he should have played better.
Yeah, I mean, if he's playing better on the road and he can't even play in the dome, I mean, when do you start questioning Derek Carr? How many weeks do you give him?
Honestly, I thought he played really well week 1, man. I really do. I think he played. I mean, there was a couple of mistakes, but man, you got to figure that guy's nerves.
And that's what I mean. If he's playing better on the road and he can't play at home, something's wrong here.
I think he'll be okay at home. I think he'll be fine. I think that'll come. I think today is going to be a tough challenge, but this is where I want to see like Pete Carmichael. Okay, let's say we have some breaks on defense. We get a turnover, short field, or somebody like Taysom breaks a big run. Okay, Sean Payton, this is what he would do. Okay, let's say it's 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. He'd run this beautiful play action and have a perfect route set up to make an easy touchdown toss. Because to me, let's be real, we look at quarterbacks, whether it's Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, all the best ones. And the two things we look at, one of the biggest stats is two things: touchdowns versus interceptions. And I mean, right now, Carr's under, and it's early. It's only 1 versus what, 2?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to see that situation. Even if he only throws for like 200 yards in this game or 180 yards, if he comes out with 2 touchdowns and no picks, and we win this game, I think that's a big confidence booster for him going forward. You know,
I agree with that. Yeah, but
like he's got to get and that's part on Pete Carmichael too. I mean, I know Derek Carr is gonna be one throwing the ball, but you have to find ways to get this man some confidence.
Here's my thing. I'm kind of giving him a pass, but I'm kind of not. But the reason I'm kind of giving him a pass is I really want to see this offense in a fold with having Kamara back. I really do. That's why I'm saying week 4.
Yeah.
Week 4, you can have Kamara back. You're gonna be, you're gonna be in the dome. You're gonna be able to, tell what's going on here. So
yeah. I agree, Richie. And I think, and even, we got to remember too, Kamara and Carr they look great in preseason, that drive together. But
people don't realize this. It's not just for the running game. Kamara's a threat in the passing game, so you have to bring them players up. Right now they're sitting back. They're not even worried about the running. They got it on tape. They know we're not running the ball very well right now.
Right.
So it's basically the running game is basically non-existent. If you can take that element away from an offense, you can do a lot more on defense, and you don't have to worry about it. I mean, it's like
exactly. Look when our run game's the best is when Taysom Hill's back there, and it's not Derek Carr's on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Or he's split out as a receiver as a distraction. As a decoy.
Listen, when they're rushing 4, they're not worried about your running game. They're not.
Right. And like you said, Richie, it becomes tough when you got defenses with talent. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, Carolina. There was a lot of talent on that defense, even without J.C. Horn. I think right now you're playing one that's really a gelled defense. These guys have played together for a while in that Green Bay unit, and there's talent there. So, I mean, if they can drop 7 back in coverage, somebody's going to have to – that's what I'm saying. The offensive coordinator has to create plays to not let that happen. You know what I'm saying? They got to show some play action too. Where's the play action? Because, look, Sean Payton, you know what he was good at? Even if you didn't have the best running game that day, he still made you believe that he was still going to run the ball at times.
Yep.
Even though he'd get pass happy, he would use that play action in spots and draw those linebackers or safeties in a little bit and then hit you downfield. Because, I mean, I don't think they're helping Carr out when it comes to that right now.
Yeah. Well, look, let's dive into the info real quick because we're only staying on for a short period of time. Look, we got the Falcons at Detroit.
Man, I'm hoping Detroit gives us some help, man, because that Atlanta team's getting confidence fast, man. I'm hearing Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get a lot of carries in this game from what they're reporting beforehand. But, yeah, man, I don't know, Richie. It's going to be a good ball game, man. I'm really interested to see those running backs.
Atlanta's a lot better than we thought they were going to be.
They are, man. Yeah, I think they hinge on Desmond Ridder. I think that team's actually getting really good all around.
I don't think people give enough credit to Arthur Smith being a really good coach.
Yeah, he's very old school. He's creative in a way, but he's got like an old school mentality. He's a little conservative, but man, I think he's got to unleash, and I think he's trying to let that young quarterback, get confidence. I mean, because there's a ton of talent, man. We always talk about it on the podcast.
I'm taking Detroit in this one. I think Detroit's gonna. I don't see them losing 2 games back to back.
Yeah, I don't think that Desmond Ridder is yet able to keep up with, Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff puts on a clinic today. I think he proves he's the better quarterback, and that's a difference maker.
Next, we got the Chargers at Vikings. Both teams are looking for their first win.
I saw it, dude. I was about to bet on that game, and I said, nope, I don't know what the hell is going to happen here because, dude, it was a pick 'em on the bet, on Barstool. And, man, I tell you, it's weird, dude. 2 good passing offenses. I don't know what's going to happen there.
I think I'm going to go with the Chargers because I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. The Chargers have a lot of talent on that team on both sides of the ball. I mean, they got talent all over the place. But that coach, they should have fired him last year, man.
He's got to be on the hot seat, Rich. Yeah, he's got to be on the hot seat. I mean, right now. And in Minnesota, they traded didn't they trade for Cam Akers this week?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see if they give him an opportunity in a run game. I mean, it's short, a short time frame to get acclimated.
Alexander Madison's been a complete disappointment.
Absolutely, and I mean, I'll tell you this, man. If you like passing games, this is going to be this is going to be 2 quarterbacks that can definitely light up the radar, with the passing game.
Yeah.
All right, but I don't know, man. That's a tough one, dude. I'm going to take. I think the Vikings are in a little bit of trouble. I think they won so many close games last year. I think it's come back to bite them in the ass. I'm going to go with I don't know, man. They're at home, but for some reason I think the Chargers in like a really close game.
I think the Vikings are tanking it for Caleb.
It might happen, dude. It might look. If they're 0-4, 0-5 before the deadline.
Think about that, Dave. What more could a quarterback ask for? A rookie quarterback ask for with two top receivers?
Dude, Jefferson and Addison, dude. I mean, I'll tell you, Caleb Williams they'd be the best duo in football next year if Caleb Williams
Oh.
comes there. You know,
All
I
right,
don't
next
know,
we got
man.
we got it. Next we got the Texans at Jaguars.
Man, I wish Chris was on here for this one, dude. Because I like, we talked a lot during the week, me and him, about C.J. Stroud. He said, "Man, look, the kid looks really poised. He's trying to figure out his receiving core a little bit. There's a lot of weird names that not non-household names over there. But man, I don't know, dude. The Texans, man, I think they're starting to get it. You know what I mean? They're looking for that first win. I think it could happen.
I'm gonna take the Jaguars only because I don't see the Jaguars dropping 2 back-to-back at home.
I think it's going to be it's funny. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, man. But the Jaguars have the talent edge, and that's the problem. And I want to take the Texans here in an upset, but, man, I just think Trevor Lawrence, man, he finds those weapons. And I don't think Houston's got enough back there in defense to contain their offense.
All right. Next, we got the Broncos and Dolphins.
Ooh, man. I tell you, Sean Payton, man, it's looking difficult for him right now. I mean,
I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm not even.
Yeah, the Dolphins on paper should definitely win this game, man. I don't know. Denver's got some things they got to figure out, man. The Dolphins are heating up, who would have thought we were saying Tua is so much better than Russell Wilson, maybe 2 years ago. But I don't know. I think I'd agree with you, Richie. I'm going to go Dolphins. But I think the Broncos put up a little bit of fight, man. But I think the Dolphins are better.
Next up, Titans at Browns.
Man, this is an interesting one. Life without Nick Chubb, man. And they said torn MCL. It was just the MCL. They said
bad, he's got to have two separate surgeries.
Yeah, you really feel for that guy, man.
He's got to actually have one surgery and then wait several months to have the other surgery, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's weird, man. I mean, Kareem Hunt's going back there now. You got the kid. Goodness, who's the guy last week? It's escaping my brain for a minute. The one who took over Ford. Was it Ford?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, I just don't know, man. I tell you, the Browns. I don't know if they can do it with. I don't know, man. It's Watson's got to.
I think the Browns pull it off. I do. The Browns
Watson's got to start playing better, man.
At home. The Browns play different at home. They do.
Good defense. I mean, look, Browns on paper are pretty good, but we talk about Derek Carr. They got to be having that conversation over there in Northern Ohio, man, about Deshaun Watson, because he had almost half a season last year, and he struggled.
He looks bad, dude. You get paid a lot of money. He looks bad,
and he's a talented quarterback. There's no doubt.
I'm a roll with the Browns, though.
I'll agree, man. I'm in agree mode today. I think it's some real close games, man. It could go down to a field goal.
Next we got Bills at Commanders.
Oh man. I like this game because I really like both quarterbacks, man. I'm a big Josh Allen fan, and I've been bragging about Sam Howell before this season started, man. But I think the Bills are just too. I think they outclass the Commanders in this one. I think they're just too good.
Yeah,
I think they win. I think Washington's feisty, but it's a 10-point win for Buffalo, man. I think.
Colts at Ravens.
Colts and Ravens, man. What's going on with Anthony Richardson, man?
I'm gonna go Ravens.
What's the status on Richardson with the concussion thing?
I think he's playing. What's up, Chuck? I think he's playing. My nephew's on. What's up, Fernando? I think he's playing, but I think it's a game time decision. So we'll see. I mean,
Yeah, no, I got it. And you said you going Ravens?
Yeah, I'm going Ravens. The Ravens are hard to beat at home, man.
The Ravens are, man. That's a tough environment, man. They start getting the White Stripes song going over there, man. They get the crowd into it, man. I think Lamar Jackson, man. He's just at home, like you said. He's dangerous, dude. I think Gus Edwards, man. I like Gus in the backfield. I think him and Lamar Jackson are too much with the running game.
Yeah,
so I think they win this one.
Patriots at Jets.
Man, that could be one of the ugliest games all week, man. It's possible. The over/under is set at 34.
I think the Jets are going to pull this one off.
Look, if they're going to get that second win, it's very possible, man. Because I mean, right now the Patriots look like a mess. I mean, they've got to get their running game going. Ramondre Stevenson, who's probably their best offensive player by far. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. This is Zach Wilson's do or die moment, don't you think? I mean, if he comes out and looks as bad as he did last week, I think they got to go out. They got to start looking elsewhere.
Did you see the report on Ramondre Stevenson? He showed that 15 pounds overweight.
Dude, he looked a little big from the videos I looked at, and I mean, dude, this guy's he had a great year last year, breakout season, man. He caught almost 70 passes, ran for 1,000 yards, but he's a big boy. but he's got to. Yeah, he looked a little out of shape. He's got to come down a little bit, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. So you going with the Jets?
Man, I want to say I'm going to say I want to go with the Jets, but I'm going to go. I'm going to try to be different on this one, Rich. I think Stevenson gets his stuff together. I think Mac Jones slightly outplays Wilson, and I think the Jets fans and the local New York media is going to start calling for Wilson's head. Man, I got a weird feeling about that.
Lance, we're going to talk about that Tuesday. Lance put primetime bandwagon has 4 flats.
It has, man. Look, it's one of those things, man. Like you ride it high for as long as you can.
We're going to talk about it Tuesday. We're going to talk
I know.
Tuesday's going to be heated up. You know that.
There's some – hey, Richie, I just want to say this. There's some real upset and pissed off people about it. See, to me, I just thought it was fun. I thought it was a great story. I mean, I didn't expect anything out of it, but there's some people really mad about it.
Listen, we're going to dive into it more Tuesday. We're going to save it. But the thing about it is with people, and people are getting mad about it. It seems like the people that were mad about it were the Prime fans, and now they're getting mad at the people that didn't like Prime because now they lost. Right. I mean, you can't, you know.
No, and the Oregon coach, man, I see people, I don't want to go into it too long. I know we're going to cover Tuesday, but the Oregon coach, I think everything he said, there's nothing wrong with what he said. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. He was being honest.
He handled that. His team whipped ass, and I mean, he handled it.
But
you know,
Prime handled it good too. Prime said that was
he did, and that's what I like about Dion as a man now. He's a lot different from the player I remember with the Falcons and the Cowboys and the 49ers. You know?
Yeah, but we'll dive into that though. Next, we got Panthers at Seahawks.
Who, man?
I'm going Seahawks. I don't think Panthers are ready.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are starting Andy Dalton because of Young's ankle. I think it is. So I mean,
that's another place hard to win.
Hard to win, dude. I think the offense comes alive. They got a lot of offensive firepower. I'll tell you this. I think, it's a hard thing to go. They've lost at home. They got to go to Pacific Northwest. I think this is a blowout, dude. I'd take the points if I'm betting.
All right, me too.
I think they cover. I think Seattle covers the spread.
Well, if you think that's ugly, now we got Bears at Kansas City.
Wow, yeah. You know, man, this is going to be an interesting game, dude, because the Bears had these expectations starting to grow. I didn't buy into it yet, but I think the Chicago fans and, people watched Justin Fields last year with fantasy-wise. I want to see Roschon Johnson, man. I really want to see this kid take over at running back from Texas. I think he's going to be a big story over there, man. Yeah. But, Kansas City, dude, Mahomes is just too good. He'll find a way to win no matter who his receivers are.
All right, we're going KC. Now Cowboys and Cardinals.
Cowboys. I think that could be the ugliest one all week. I think even without Trayvon Diggs, I think that defense still does some damage today.
Yeah, we're going there. Steelers at Raiders.
Steelers at Raiders. Man, this is a weird one, man. Steelers have got to start getting something going on offense, man. Najee Harris has been disappointing, dude. Pickett's got to get it together. I don't know, man. The Raiders, this might be the game the Raiders take, man. Garoppolo hasn't been great, but I think he's better than Pickett right now. Yeah. I'm going to say Raiders in a close one.
All right. Eagles at Bucks.
Man, this game kind of is weird, man.
I'm going to Eagles.
I think the Bucks are actually going to put up a fight, Richie, and I think Jalen Hurts isn't going to be able to have his running game, his personal running game going like he usually does. Good front seven, but I think I'll say this. We need the Eagles to win, obviously. We need to get Tampa a loss. So I'm going to hope that works out and it's the Eagles, man. But I do think Tampa is going to hang in this game. I think their front seven keeps them in it.
Next, we got Rams at Bengals. This is a weird one here.
Man, I tell you, the Rams are kind of a weird situation, but I think the Bengals, man, I don't know if Joe puts it. What's going on with Joe Burrow, man?
I don't think he's playing.
If Joe, look, here's the thing, man. I think everything's dependent on Joe Burrow, man, with these guys. Let's be real. But I think, man, the Rams, I don't know, man. I don't love that roster, but Aaron Donald could always wreak havoc, dude. Stafford's hard to bet against sometimes. But I don't know, man. I'm going to say Bengals snuff it out, man.
I'm going to go Bengals, too. I'm going to go Bengals. All right, my brother Dave. But listen, man, have a great Sunday. Enjoy with your family.
Do the same, man.
As always, join us on Sunday mornings. Me and Dave will give you some picks, give you some fantasy. Just let us know. Thank you, my brother. Who that?
All right, man.
Real quick, are y'all doing an after game for the Saints later on today, or y'all not today?
It don't matter. Me and if Dave's got time, I'll do it with him. That's fine.
I'll check with you guys in a little bit. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I'd like to see what the other guys think too, man. Maybe get Dancing Bear. He's always got some crazy takes after the game, man.
Yeah, let me know. We'll talk with the guys in the chat. We'll get them all on and see who wants to come on.
Yeah, just let me know. I'm available all day. So
all right, my brother.
Peace. Sounds good, Fatty. Thanks, man.
Later.
No problem.
All right, man. Y'all.